Hello guys, it's me, Cool Bowser here, and today will be my very first ranking video on my channel. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a long time now, but I didn't know what I specifically wanted to do. But I realized that I just love ranking things. All the time in my head, I just go, where would I rank that thing in terms of other things? And that led me to the idea of creating a ranking channel. So this channel will be dedicated to my rankings of various topics. Don't expect any consistency of what I rank. I could be talking about Mario Party today, and I could be talking about how the world could end the next day. So there's no consistency, but that's fine. That's just the way I like it. So with that intro out of the way, let's dive into the ranking I'm actually going to be doing today, ranking all 5 Mario Party Superstars boards. Here we go. Starting the list at number 5 here, we have a board that I can confidently say is absolute hot trash. When my friends are in charge of picking the board in the game, I beg them to never pick this board. And thankfully, most of them listen to me because they understand how trash this board is too. I am, of course, talking about the abomination that is Yoshi's Tropical Island. The best way to describe this map is that it is so bland and annoying at the same time. The premise of Yoshi's Island is that there are 2 main sides of the board. At the end of one is Toadette with the star, and at the other is Bowser, ready to rob you of all your possessions. What I hate most about this map is that the happening spaces switch between Toadette and Bowser's position, which can wipe away a lot of hard work if you're near the star. It takes quite a long time to get from one side of the map to the other, which makes this even worse. There is a boo on this map, but only on one side, which hurts the balance quite a bit. And to change sides, you gotta pay a thwomp fee, which adds up quickly along with getting ripped off by Bowser. Along with all these annoying traits, this map also has a lack of gimmicks that make the board fun, while others do. Because of all these reasons, I declare Yoshi's Tropical Island to be the worst board in the game at number 5. Moving on to number 4 now, we have a map that is also a bit on the boring end and honestly also does have less gimmicks than Yoshi's Tropical Island, but I can play through the entire map without yeeting my controller out a window, unlike Yoshi's Island. So for that, I moved it up a spot, and that map is Peach's Birthday Cake. Now, first, I do have to address the fact that this is the only map where the star is in the same spot for the entirety of the game, which severely does limit the possibilities and fun that could result from this game, which is a big knock against it. Also, that add on to that as well, the distance between the starting point and the star is quite far, which makes the game move even slower on a map that was already lacking in the excitement department. At some point, at the right side of the board, they do try to spice things up by having this lottery where you have to pay 10 coins and randomly pick a seed, or I forget. But the point is, 3 of them go down the regular path where you eventually get all your coins back, but 1 brings you down the Bowser path, where Bowser will rob you of even more money, and there's also red spaces. But it is closer to the stars, so there are situations where you might actually want that. But there is one reason that I have this map ahead of Yoshi's Island, and that is the Piranha Plant gimmick. So the basics of this gimmick is throughout the long path to the star that I mentioned, there are a lot of happening spaces where when you land on them, you can plant a piranha plant for an investment of coins, and if someone lands on that, they get their coins taken and get them returned to you. But the big twist is, if you pay 30 coins, you get an extra large piranha plant, and if someone lands on that space, they get their star stolen and it goes to you. I actually really like this way of taking a star. I think it might be my favorite way of taking someone's star in the entire game because it's a risk versus reward investment that you don't know if it'll pay off. And the person who gets the star taken can't really blame you either. More strategy and less friendship breaking is the type of Mario Party I want more of. So, in all, because of the Piranha Plant gimmick, I have Peach's Birthday Cake ahead of Yoshi's Island here at number 4 on this list. At number 3 now, so numbers 2 and 3 were very close. I debated this placement for a while. It was the only one that I didn't know before I started working on the list. I went back and forth for quite a while. But what made the difference in the end was this map takes a lot longer to get going than the other, which has action straight from turn 1. So it lands at number 3 for that reason, and that map is Spaceland. Now, Spaceland does have a lot of things that I really like. Obviously, the counter in the middle, that when it hits 0, the big beam comes out, and everyone that gets hit by it loses all their coins immediately. Which it can be a bit harsh, but I like it because it is your fault most of the time. Because everyone's aware that actively going in the direction of the beam when the counter is low can cost you, but it is another risk to take, and I love risk versus reward in Mario Party. Also, this is the first board that is able to utilize the skeleton key, and I think it actually does it better than the next board on the list. There's one gate that gives you access to a boo, and there's another that gives you access to a chance space, maybe 2 chance. My memory is a little foggy on that. But anyway, I love both of these gates because they give you access to things that can completely change the game. All those things are really great. But there are some things on this map that I am not a fan of. Like, first, the police gimmick, where if you land on the event space, the police will chase you and move you back a bunch of spaces, which goes along with these things that waste hard work and puts you back to a spot where you already were, which makes the game go slower. Also, even from the beginning, this game takes a long time to get going because the first horizontal path after the start line is so long for no reason. And there's another event space there too, which could make it even longer to finally get to that first path where action can begin. And I just find the board a bit too linear in general. I mean, it's just one big square with some paths in it. And a lot of times you can find yourself with a lack of options, which can make the game boring as well. But even with those negative traits I just listed, I still enjoy playing on this map, even though it is flawed. So it lands here on the list at number 3. At number 2, I have the board that I debated Spaceland with, and that is Woody Woods. Woods which are very woody. Sorry, that was super corny. Woody Woods is a board that doesn't do anything great, but it does a lot of things well, if that makes sense. I love how this board has action right from the beginning due to the way it is designed. The main gimmick for this board is that there are forks in the path and only one path is available each turn, but then it switches. It's a cool idea that can definitely be fun, but it feels a bit one-dimensional and kind of complicated to keep track of. The trees as well are okay, I guess. There is a good tree and a bad tree. The good tree gives you the choice to earn money or roll again, and the bad one does the opposite, lose money or roll backwards. But you get the choice, and I love that it's your choice, but it doesn't really impact the game enough for me to really like the gimmick. Also, I just have to mention that if you try to choose nothing on the bad tree, you get both inflicted on you. Lose coins and go backwards, which is something I didn't know until my friend tried it. It's not that relevant here, I just found it really funny. Alright, back to the map. There are 2 item shops that sell different items on this map. The only map to do that, which is a big plus for me. And there's also a boo on the top of the bad side of the map, which actually makes it worth going down, which is great for balance and just adds to the overall excitement. The keys are kind of underwhelming though. One gives you a shortcut upwards towards the bottom, and one lets you change paths at the top. They definitely can come in handy at points, but I don't find them that exciting. Yeah, I think that's about it for Woody Woods. Solid map without that many highs, but minimal flaws, so it lands here at number 2. Finally, at number 1, this isn't really close. This is by far my favorite board in the game, and it was my favorite from the first time I ever played on it. And that board is none other than HorrorLand. Keep in mind that I haven't played that many Mario Party games, but HorrorLand is the closest thing I've ever seen to the perfect Mario Party board. It has everything I ever wanted for a map in this game. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, well, let's start with the fact that the main gimmick is every 2 turns, the time of day changes from day to night. And when it switches, everything on the map changes. And I mean everything. There are not 1, not 2, but 3 different boos on this board, which is something I only thought was possible in my dreams. 1 is only active during the day, 1 is only active at night, and 1 is... I'll get to that one later. Event spaces also change day to night or night to day, instead of moving you backwards or directly screwing you over. There are 2 spots where you also can pay to change the time of day as well. 1 for day, 1 for night. Balanced once again. Also, there are a lot of paths on the board where one side is completely free and one side you have to pay a womp toll. But that's only during the day, because at night the womps freeze or fall asleep. I forget what happens. But point is that path is now blocked. You can't go that way. And that adds a lot more excitement to the game. Also, there's the eye warp, which I believe is the only direct route of transportation on any board in the game, which is amazing. You go all the way from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom. It gives you an additional option at spots on the board where your options are usually limited, which once again adds the excitement. And then, of course, I have to talk about the skeleton keys, which on this map are played to perfection. 1 gives you access to the boo that's only active in the day, and the other gives you, oh boy, when you unlock the gate all the way at the top, you get access to King Boo. What happens when you reach King Boo, you might ask? King Boo allows you to either steal coins from every single player in the game, or if you have 150 coins, you could steal a star from every single player, either confirming your victory or making a huge comeback. It is a completely game-breaking move, in a good way. Mind you, King Boo is only active at night, so this is not a guarantee. And it can be so exciting watching someone scramble to get to King Boo. And also, due to the high coin amount, this scramble will likely be at the end of the game, making it even more exciting and offering a great conclusion to the game no matter what happens. Phew, that was a lot to talk about. Let me see if I forgot anything. Okay, I think we're good. So HorrorLand is just perfect in every single way, so it definitely earned its spot at number 1. And there you go, that is my ranking of all 5 boards in Mario Party Superstars. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do apologize for how awkward I probably sounded throughout this entire video. This is the first time where I've had to speak directly into a microphone, so I should get better at that with time. Also in the future, I hope to add some elements to make my videos more exciting, because I know just seeing like a still image with me talking can get boring, but that'll come in the future when I freaking learn how to input footage into my editor, but that will all come. But for now, leave a like if you enjoyed, consider subscribing if you want more, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.